Greetings everyone, this is Elizabeth, and we are still in our November fall/Thanksgiving theme. This time it's a project, but you could definitely scale way back and make it into a card. We are back with the Splendor Autumn Splendor die from Honeybee, okay? And this idea is from a subby. Yes, one of you guys put an idea out there and I said, I'm stealing this. So Pam, thank you so much for allowing me to run with this idea. She said, ooh, I could see this being used as a table centerpiece with vellum in between the layers in like a little box formation, because it is rectangular. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a table centerpiece using this cover plate and a little bit of alcohol ink and just paper. And I take that back, not just this stuff, also a string of inexpensive mini lights so we can light it up safely, because paper and fire, you know, can cause some issues. So what I've done is I've cut 4 white, 4 black, and then 4 pieces of vellum. And it can be any kind of vellum. You can even use colored vellum or acetate, you know, clear acetate, and maybe drop some alcohol inks on the acetate. So your centerpiece should just be a clear sheet of something, okay? So it's going to be very versatile. What we're going to do is we're going to take our vellum and we're just going to dribble a little bit of alcohol on here. It's not going to be fancy because most of it's going to get covered up, okay? And I don't want it too wet. I don't want my paper buckling, which vellum does. And if it does, don't panic. You can definitely flatten it back out. Okay, so we're just going to add a little bit of this, that, and some other stuff. Okay, it doesn't have to be specific. And I think I do want it to move around a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, I use 99% rubbing alcohol. Okay, I got a ginormous jug at the hardware store. Okay, for it wasn't too expensive for the whole gallon. But so I'm just going to do this for the 4 panels and just kind of move it around. And if it buckles while I'm working, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz the back of it. And then I'm going to lay some books on top of it so it will flatten out. Okay. And I'm just using browns and, oh, you know, browns and yellows. It's fall. Woo-wee. And this is thinned down. So I'm doing a 2-to-1, 2 parts, 99%, and then 1 part water. So it's 4 ounces, 2 ounces. Look at that. So I'll go ahead and fast forward to the dribbly part. And I'll see you on the other side. Hey, look at those. Ugh. So any kind of alcohol inks with shimmer, metallics, whatever you want to use. And alcohol inks are great because you can still see through them. Now, don't be me. I set my heat gun on the paper to hold it still. That was a mistake. But hopefully, we can find, yeah, see right there, we can squish it between that leaf And yep, these are all running the same way. Now with the two pieces, okay, I'm trying, let me see if I can't. You can see the black behind. So if you line it up perfectly, you're not going to have a shadow. But I was thinking it would be pretty cool to have a shadow between there. So I'm going to either shift up or down. On all of them, it'll be the same. So if I decide to shift up, all of them are going to be together and then shift up. Okay, and not a very big shift up, just a teeny bit. So some areas you will see that black in there and it'll be a nice little shadow. You could also do that in reverse and put the black on top. But I think a nice white will be pretty awesome, because with white we can put flowers in there. Maybe we have a cup that'll sit in between. It'll go great with all of our foliage. You can, of course, distress this and make it any color that you like. But I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and go with white. So all we have to do, oh, and one other thing, I'm sorry. We need to hold all 4 panels together. So what I did is I took some of my thicker cardstock, okay, something a little sturdy that was a little hard to bend, but I cut 1/2-inch strips and then folded it, did a score line in the middle. So there's a 1/4 inch, okay. And that way there, when I go to glue my sections together, there'll be a nice sturdy section to hold everything together. Okay, so you'll need 4 of those. 4 1/2-inch by almost 5 1/4. You do not want it to stick out. So if your cover plate is a little bit smaller, you're going to want to measure your cover plate. For this Autumn Splendor, 5 1/4, just a hair short, is perfect. Okay, so let me set those aside, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom through. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue all of these to the black and then glue this on top with a slight shift. Okay, so we'll do some zoomy zooms, and I'll see you in a momento. So I've got these all together, and I'm not in love with the white right now. When I turned it over a couple of times and saw the black, I was like, ugh, I should have went with black. But it's not a loss. I mean, we live and we learn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of my brown, and let's throw in, we're going to do crushed olive and a little bit of spiced marmalade and kind of a brown that will go with them. Some rusty hinge. And I'm just going to lightly ink on these panels so they're not so white. Who'd have thought? We don't want them stark white. So let me go ahead and ink these up, and we'll be right back. Definitely better with the little bit of fun colors. Woohoo! I'm loving it. Okay, so since we did our shift, we do have a little bit that we need to trim off. And so we're just going to grab our little trimmer, and we're just going to butt it right up where we want to chop, just like so. And then we can start assembly. So assembly should be fairly easy. We're going to put them dog is growling at something. Okay, so we're gonna do, there is an orientation to these. So what I'm thinking is we'll do, see the little dot here? We're gonna go up, down, up, and then down, and then these will meet, and that'll be fabulous. So all we're gonna do, now you can take glue, liquid glue, or score tape, whatever you have handy, and we're just going to run a thin bead, because you know this is pretty strong glue. So we're just gonna add a little bit there. Okay, and we're gonna flip it around and get it attached. Maybe don't want to wear it. So we're just gonna line that up just like so. And we don't want it in, okay? We want it just out. I mean, we're gonna see this bend, okay? So it's just gonna be just outside of the paper here. So we should be able just to see a hair of it. Okay. Get that there. Okay. Let that dry a little bit. Now this is going to be glued to that one, so I'm going to add one to this side. And look, oh my goodness, how cute is that? And it is really, really spacious. So if you had a votive holder, okay, or a jar with some flowers, okay, let me tip this, okay, and you could flatten it and store it for next season. Because it's paper, you could just bend it back into place. You could fill this with foliage, make this a little vase. If you wanted it more sturdy, you could cut a square that was a little bit bigger. What would it be? An inch? No. Okay, so if we did a square and you did a 1/4 inch and a 1/4 inch, so it would be a 1/2 inch bigger all the way around, then you would fold at a 1/4 inch, snip the corners, and then you could put a base on this and you could actually fill it with all sorts of goodies. But I do like this. Let's throw some lights in there. So I've got these fun strands of lights that I bought off of Amazon. It was like a box of 25 for 25 bucks. Okay, we're just gonna toss those in there. Look at that. I mean, okay, you're being stubborn. Get in there. And we are going to grab our fall foliage that we made last month. Okay. So these are just some paper leaves that I cut out. How fun are these? Don't get stuck under there. Okay. And I'll link the video down below where I made these. It was die cuts using other than just paper crafting. Do some creative fun stuff. Okay, let's turn out some lights and see how fabulous is that. And of course you can take your little string of lights and really direct them however you want. Oh, it's so cute. And this is this little garland piece. I'm so gonna put this downstairs with my fall stuff. Just in love. Thank you again, Pam, for suggesting this. or mentioning it. I hope it inspires you to do some crafty fun with your paper. That's not necessarily a card or a scrapbook page, but actual decoration for your mantle or table. I thank you all for joining me today, and if this does inspire you, be sure to hashtag Chat with Sassy on Instagram or Facebook. I'd love to see what you create. You can also join our Facebook group, Chat with Sassy's Crafty Friends, and post pictures there of all your crafts. And all crafts, I mean sewing, journaling, anything that is crafty is welcome in our group. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.